Arsenal have just lost 2 games in a row and currently sit 4th in the Premier League table, just 1 point above Tottenham. They normally start to crumble around the month of March, but it seems like they are getting it out the way earlier this season. Arteta has been manager of Arsenal since December 2019, and the only decent season he has had was last season when they bottled the league to Manchester City after being 8 points clear. The season before that they bottled top 4 to Tottenham after being 6 points clear of them. In this video I want to tell you why Spurs will finish above Arsenal this season. Tottenham have had so many injuries to deal with this season, and not just to fringe players, but to significant players. We have had many games where we have had our 2 best centre-backs not playing and have had to play 2 full-backs in that position. On top of that, we have had many suspensions to key players, but we seem to manage to get results regardless. We have a very thin squad, but Postecoglou is getting the best out of every single player. Once our first team players come back and we add a couple of signings, we should have enough quality to finish above Arsenal. Arsenal have had a fully fit first team all season and are currently only 1 point ahead of us. Can you imagine if they had injuries to Saliba, Rice and Saka? Do you think they would be getting as many points as Spurs right now? I don't think so. Arsenal have a very thin squad too, and all it will take is a few injuries to some key players and their season could get even worse. On top of that, Arsenal are 10 points worse off than last season, which shows what direction they are heading already. Tottenham are 6 points better off than last season, so you can already see how much the gap has closed from last year. Fun fact: star boy Saka has as many Premier League goals as Richarlison this season. Saka has started 19 of the 20 games so far in the Premier League and scored 6 goals. Richarlison has started just 12 league games this season, coming on as sub 5 times, and has also scored 6 goals. That too tells you how overrated Saka is and how underrated Richarlison is. Arsenal fans laughing at the Richarlison signing whilst calling Saka world-class is very hypocritical. This brings me to my next point. All the Arsenal players from last season are underperforming. Martinelli is nowhere near as good as last season, and as we have just spoken about, neither has Saka. Even Saliba looks off at the moment, and it seems like only Rice is putting in decent performances every week. This leads me to thinking that these Arsenal players don't believe in Arteta anymore, and other teams have found his tactics out and know how to beat him. If these players don't win anything again this season, or even worse finish lower than last season, then surely questions are going to be asked of this manager. Postecoglou has got the best out of every player. He even lost a world-class player before the season started. He has dealt brilliantly with all the injuries and suspensions and is still keeping with the teams at the top. Can you imagine if Postecoglou finishes above Arteta in his very first season, whilst Arteta has taken 4 years just to finish below Spurs? Postecoglou is still in the infancy of his philosophy, so Spurs will be much stronger in the second half of the season and the pressure will be much higher for Arteta, which he has shown to buckle every time this happens. I truly believe our best 11 is much better than Arsenal's, so if we get our players all back and fit, then we will easily finish above them. Arsenal struggled to beat us at the Emirates, and my prediction is that we will beat them at our place, which is near the end of the season. This will be the nail in the coffin for Arteta. Thank you for watching. Do you think Tottenham can finish above Spurs? Let me know in the comments.